This is a video that I never really thought that I would be making. This feels very weird and I am scared to post this, but I feel like for the betterment of primarily female content creators, this is a video that I need to make. The morning after Taylor announced her new album, I woke up with an email from Sunroom. I used to talk about Sunroom a lot, but I kind of stopped over the past few months because of imposter syndrome mainly. I just was not posting as much as I wanted to on Sunroom. This has been an ongoing issue. That platform has been in the back of my mind for the past 2 years. I've constantly been thinking about, oh, I should post this on Sunroom. But I had trouble differentiating my content from my public Instagram to Sunroom. I had a marketing campaign idea in mind, but it never seemed like I had time to post on Instagram, much less Sunroom, because I was spending a lot of time on my YouTube channel, which I don't regret. I feel like YouTube has the biggest staying power for any type of influencer group, so I'm very glad and I'm very lucky that I live a life where I can post on YouTube. I just wish that I could have posted more places. Unfortunately, the morning after the Taylor announcement, I woke up with an email from Sunroom saying that they had been acquired by a bigger paywall platform, subscription platform. It has similar values to Sunroom, but it's never going to be the same as Sunroom. It is bigger, it has raised more money, it has a larger user base, but it doesn't have the vibe, the mission, or the morality in some aspects that Sunroom had. So I will miss Sunroom forever. It is implementing screenshot protection technology in the future. So the platform that acquired Sunroom is called FanFix. It is something that I knew very little about before this acquisition. I always thought that Sunroom was like the place for me. I felt like it was kind of like a Tumblr and an Instagram combined, but with better content protection for the creators. I am someone who actually gets enraged when I hear about content leaks, and it doesn't matter what the paywall is, because the content creator was the one that made the content. They should be the one that gets all of the profits. It shouldn't be available for free online. I don't care if it's a video, a photo, a Substack post. Honestly, it's all the same. It's all copyright infringement. It's really annoying. And I felt like Sunroom had the best protection from that because they literally had screenshot protection programmed into their system. Honestly, I'm still emotional about this. I have accepted the invitation to move to FanFix, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a permanent thing. I am happy with Patreon for ASMR. I'm staying on Patreon, so if you're a fan of my ASMR, nothing's gonna change with that. I feel like Patreon is the perfect platform for selling more long-form content, but they don't have as many features as other paywall platforms. I don't really see a day when Patreon's gonna implement most of the features in popular paywall platforms. This video is not necessarily about the first chunk of the video. I just wanted to do like a life update. If I seem emotional in this video, that's why. I'm having to say goodbye to my favorite app on the App Store, and I am upset about it. But honestly, thinking about all of this, thinking about content protection, anti-screenshot protection, it just made a bunch of other topics enter my mind, and this has been an intrusive thought in my head for a little while. This is the topic of the video. I had to take action to protect my brand integrity as well as my identity, and I feel like this is really important. If you are a female content creator, especially if you were on Twitch, or if you have a male demographic that is as large or larger than your female demographic. This is scary to think about, which is why I took proactive action. And I know that every female content creator is going to have a different response for this, a different answer for this, and that's okay. What I'm about to talk about is serious, and if you are a female content creator who hopes to one day be a household name or at least be very recognizable, I think that this is something that you should be thinking about now before it's too late. On the most infamous subscription platform service on the internet, OF, most people, once they get approved, once their ID matches their name on their account, most people actually do change their name. I feel like this is not a new announcement, but this is a public service announcement that I feel like I need to make to help protect female content creators. Theoretically, especially with the invention of generative AI, someone could take your main username that you use on your social media platforms and make an OF in that name. Whether you want an account on that website or not, it could happen. Also, theoretically, if someone had a similar body type to you, they could be making faceless content and claiming to be you, and this could be going on for months or possibly longer without your consent and without your knowledge. Luckily, I've never been a victim of this, but just thinking about the future, especially since AI is on everyone's minds these days, this is a topic that unfortunately has entered my mind. I don't want someone claiming a leak that I have no knowledge or consent of, so I've taken the action to claim my leak. Although I don't plan on creating original content with this leak, I own it. It is password protected, and I know what's on it because I am the account holder. I would recommend any female content creators to at least think about taking this action as well, even if you don't want anything on that account, even if it's just blank, because it's better that you own the account that's associated with your username than leaving it available for anyone to grab. I think that another reason why I thought about this, honestly, was the Taylor Swift podcast, when she talked about ownership of her masters and that she cared about it, but maybe not every artist would care about it. It made me think about ownership of my content and ownership of my brand integrity, and the nightmare situation that I discussed earlier in this video came out of my head with that combined with the acquisition of Sunroom. If you do decide to claim your leak and take proactive steps to protect your brand, there's a couple of things that you could do. The first is to leave that account completely blank. That way there's nothing to associate with your brand and there's no content on it, so people don't necessarily know that you own that link. The second thing that you can do, which honestly, this is what I've chosen to do, is you can make it a redirect page or like a landing page for your brand and post the leaks that you're actually going to be the most active on that page. If you wanted to, you could actually post promotional content like little clips of YouTube videos, for example, or pictures of your Patreon in short little snippets. If you take this route, I would recommend making it clear in your banner, your bio, and your pinned posts that this is a safe for work OF account, That way, nobody thinks that they're getting something that you're not interested in doing. Personally, in my pinned post on my link, I have that I do not send or receive DMs on this account because I'm not interested in using it as a vessel to earn income from. I think that that's a popular way to earn income on that link, but personally I'm just not interested in doing that, so I make it very clear that I'm not going to be active. There is a big part of my soul that wishes that making money off of DIY photography behind a paywall didn't have the connotation that it has now, because that is something that I would be so interested in. The issue with that is knowing how to market it effectively and getting your message across to people that you're not doing things that some other people are doing. I really don't want to put anyone down in this video. Honestly, I like following a lot of different people on social media for their marketing advice and their perspectives on life, so I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm just not interested in being associated with OF, but I still wanted to make this video for my own protection, for other people's protection, and to get female content creators thinking about this before this becomes an ongoing issue. I'm also not saying that you can't report someone for impersonating you, but I do feel like if you have a ticket, you might have to wait a little while for support, and this would be a very stressful issue to have to wait for support to get to you for, especially if you are not a very well-known public figure like a traditional celebrity. I feel like you're just gonna wait in a line with a bunch of other people who have technical problems that are not as urgent as your problem. So I decided to get in front of the issue because that would be a nightmare situation for me, and I know that it would be a nightmare situation for so many other content creators out there. I've also made that account free. There is going to be a second part of this video where I dive into a weird double standard that exists on the internet when it comes to content creators. So I'm going to be talking about another thing that I'm doing temporarily on this page. But other than that, I'm not planning on being really active on this account. Sometimes if I feel like I have out of this world content, I might post a couple of promotional clips about that video or a photo shoot, but honestly, I'm not creating original content that is meant for this platform because I'm not interested in making money off of this platform. I would also recommend in all of your promotional content that you make to post on your link, posting links to your actual social media websites as a way to redirect people off of that page. It's kind of like your Linktree, but there's a little bit more media that people can get on this page. But I wouldn't spend a lot of time building this page because honestly, unless you're interested in making content and fully delving into that platform, it's not really worth it to spend hours upon hours on this platform. Honestly, I would just do like a one and done approach to building it. Unless you do want to release promotional content, then it could be kind of like a promotional Substack for you or an email list. But honestly, I'm not interested in building a following with that link. You know where to get it, I guess, but I'm not going to link it down below. I'm not going to associate it with any of my other social media platforms. It's just there to redirect people and also to protect my brand integrity, protect myself from being impersonated in the future. Obviously, this isn't the only thing that you can do to protect yourself, and it's not a 100% protection against all types of impersonations. I just felt like in this day and age, especially with that website having the reputation that it does, it's a good step to take to protect yourself from impersonation in the future, especially if you want a recognizable brand on the internet, but you're not interested in a certain type of content. I really wanted to make this video to spark ideas in content creators' heads, especially if you want to own your brand better and practice good brand integrity practices. I don't necessarily think that it's great for everyone to add anything to their link after they claim it. Like, for example, if you have ambitions of being in the public eye outside of the entertainment sector, like if you want to work with children or be a doctor or a lawyer, something like that, something super traditional, I don't think that you should add anything to this website after you claim your link. But I do think that it's a smart thing to do, especially since the future of AI is pretty unpredictable. Personally, I don't think that it's going to take over the world. I don't think that the odds of that happening are very high, but I do think that it's going to be able to make more realistic images in the future, and I would hate to be a victim of that. Even making this video and talking about this topic has me pretty nervous, because once you open that can of worms, I hate that phrase, by the way, but once you start talking about it, I feel like you do attract a little bit of that type of attention, and that's not something that I want to do. I did also want to note that as content creators, technically we can use whatever paywall platform we want to, and we shouldn't be pressured to cross boundaries or do more than what we intended on doing. I'm thinking about doing like a niche change, but I'll still be talking about this type of content, maybe some graphic design type content, and obviously my ASMR is sticking around, no worries about that. Anyway, stay beautiful.